Hello, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to Popcorn in Bed. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, this is so fun.
This is, and are you ready? Do 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 do. What do you think that is?
It's not a baseball song. It's not the wedding song.
Is it a president song?
Oh,
yeah, it's supposed to be.
It is the president song.
Welcome to Popcorn POTUS Week for President's Day. We are having a theme. This is our first one of the week, and we are watching All the President's Men.
That's fun.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
I'm assuming it's about a president. Robert Redford is in it. Do you know who that is?
I recognize the name.
He's the one that was in The Natural, the baseball player, and he's also the bad guy in Captain America. He was like the fake, like, good guy, bad guy. You know, he's older though in it. He's looked like, when he was young, he looks like Brad Pitt. And then Dustin Hoffman, who was Rain Man, and in a lot of other things, none that I can name off the top of my head.
Is he the Tom Cruise one?
Yeah. He was like the brother.
Yes, I remember. I remember now.
So that is, I know the actors, but I do not know the plot or president they're portraying, if it's true or fake or anything. So
I don't know all of that, minus a few of the actors as well.
Yeah. I will also be watching the movie Dave and the movie 13 Days with my president, Kevin Costner. Okay, so let's get started. All the President's Men. I'm excited for this week. I know there's lots of more movies, and I will watch them all eventually about presidents. Let's not get too political in those comments. Let's have fun. Let's keep it fun.
Just movies and fake presidents, okay?
Although I think this might be based on a true story.
Oh,
We'll
really?
see. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Don't forget to
like and subscribe here, and Patreon's here, and Instagram's here.
Okay, let's do it. Do 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 do.
Alright. Is gray and ominous?
Do you hear anything?
No. Oh, shoot.
Again. That is aggressive.
Yeah.
June 11th,
Now here comes
1972.
the President's helicopter, Marine helicopter number 1. President flying all the way across the world, across the Atlantic, arriving almost exactly as scheduled at 9:30.
Do you know who the president was in 1972?
Cassie, don't ask me those questions.
Guys, we are Canadian.
Who is... No.
James Taylor? Is that a president? Nixon?
I don't know. But also, if they could name the Prime Minister of Canada in 1972, then I'll feel bad, okay?
Happy President.
But we don't do that either.
Don't ask!
Address the Congress.
Oh, good job! You guessed it slightly right.
Was Nixon the bad guy one? Not bad guy one, but you know, the scandal with the Watergate.
Maybe you should refrain from asking historical presidential questions.
Open door at the Watergate office building.
Watergate.
Unit 1 to Unit 2.
What?
We're home.
So the bad guys are in suits.
Base 1 to Unit 1.
We have some activity here.
Base 1 to Unit 1. Lights on the 8th floor. Is there anybody there?
Someone's here.
Hold it, you must hold! Put your hands up!
What?
Drop that jacket!
One of the burglars had $814. Most of it's in $100 bills and in sequence. There's been a break-in at Democratic headquarters. Been an arrest.
Local Democratic headquarters.
They were bugging the place.
It's Robert.
Does look like a young Brad Pitt.
Harry, I know somebody on staff over at Watergate. When we were
Does
up.
it
All
have
right,
it?
Steve, why don't you finish one?
With the hair.
The Virginia legislature story?
I finished it.
All right, give it to me.
I'm just polishing it.
I'll work the phone. Polishing.
So who are the lawyers for the 5 men arrested at Watergate?
Only now it turns out the burglars have their own counsel.
Burglars have their own counsel? You know the name of the counsel?
I don't know, some country club type.
Interesting. They're not your regular burglars.
Yeah, I mean, I know Watergate, and I remember learning about it at one point in my life, but don't really
What is your name?
remember the details.
Yeah, me neither.
Markham.
Markham, are you here in connection with the Watergate burglary?
I'm not here. Well, clearly I am here. But only as an individual, not as the attorney of record.
Who is?
Mr. Starkey.
Do you have any...
Whatever you want, you'll have to get from him.
You remember him from The Natural now? He was the baseball player.
Mr. Starkey was very helpful. 4 Cuban Americans and another man, James W. McCord.
Told you inside, I have nothing more to say.
What I don't understand is how you got here.
Well, I assure you there's nothing very mysterious involved.
Well, a little while ago, I was talking to a couple of the lawyers assigned to represent the burglars. They never would have been assigned to represent the burglars had anyone known that the burglars had arranged for their own counsel. I mean, the burglars couldn't have arranged for their own counsel since they never even made a phone call.
Ooh.
Did one of the other men involved in the break-in call you?
What reason do you have to assume that there were other people involved in
One
the
of your
break-in?
clients was arrested with a walkie-talkie.
They're not my clients.
You're a lawyer, and you're here.
One of the defendants, Mr. Barker, and I met at a social occasion once.
Where?
I have nothing else to say.
They deny even knowing McCord.
With all that money and equipment, they weren't out to, to work by themselves. Somebody hired them.
What we don't know is why they wanted to bug Democratic headquarters, whether they're working for themselves or other individuals or other organizations.
Yep. Brzezinski calling from police headquarters. Friend just showed me what they found in the hotel rooms of the Watergate burglars. There's something here you might want to look into.
I love reporting movies too.
Burglars' address books. One says HH at WH. The other says Howard Hunt, W House.
White House.
Howard Hunt, please.
Mr. Hunt isn't here just now. He might be in Mr. Colson's office. I'll connect you. Charles Colson's office.
Howard Hunt, please.
Mr. Hunt isn't here just now. Have you tried the Mullen firm?
I beg your pardon?
So works as a writer at Mullen & Company Public Relations.
All right, thank you.
Charles Colson is special counsel to the president. There's a cartoon on his wall. Caption reads, "When you got him by the balls, our hearts and minds will follow."
Shoot. This feeling like some big conspiracy.
Howard Hunt here. Hi, I'm Bob Woodward of the Washington Post. I was just kind of wondering why your name and phone number were in the address books of 2 of the men arrested at Watergate.
Oh.
Good God.
You care to comment?
In view that the matter is under adjudication, I have no comment.
Hello?
This is Bob Woodward of the Washington Post. I was told that you had worked with a Mr. Howard Hunt.
No, I don't believe so, and I can't imagine why anyone would say that. Listen, I'm really sorry, but I was on my way out. Goodbye.
Your publishing firm was listed in some papers in connection with a Howard Hunt.
Yeah, he's one of our authors. Spy novels, I think.
You say wrote? You mean he's no longer with you anymore?
No, not at this time.
I need him to organize his notes.
This is exactly how I take notes.
See me out.
This is how Carly and I differ right there.
Wondering if we could confirm some information on one of your employees, Mr. Howard Hunt. We know, for example, that he works for Mullen & Company. He's also a novelist.
And the CIA. Well, if you're conducting that kind of an investigation, certainly it comes as no surprise to you that Howard was with the CIA.
No surprise at all.
Did you call the White House press office?
I went over there. I talked to them. They said Hunt hadn't worked there for 3 months. And a PR guy said this weird thing to me. He said, "I'm convinced that neither Mr. Colson or anyone else at the White House had any knowledge of or participation in this deplorable incident at the Democratic National Committee."
Isn't that what you expect them to say?
Absolutely. I never asked about Watergate. I simply asked what were Hunt's duties at the White House.
Oh,
Careful how you
shoot.
write it. Harry, this isn't a police story anymore. This is national. We need a top political writer on it.
This guy is busted his ass.
He's been on this paper for only 9 months. Well, what has he been writing about? Rats in restaurants? For he's had no experience.
You got a few of them closed, did he?
What is the matter with you? You told me yourself you're going to fire him last month.
Oh.
He wants on the story bad. They both do. Howard, they're hungry. You remember when you were hungry?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I'm reading a book right now where they're like on typewriters constantly, and I'm always like, oh, I kind of want to be on a typewriter.
But if you
But like no
delete.
backspace, yeah, I would be going through paper like no other.
Hello.
Right, Bob, right, hurry, before you kicked off the story.
Lou. Hey, Lou.
How's it going? What are you doing? I'm just helping. It's a little fuzzy. Just aware of the fact that you've only been here 9 months.
What does that got to do with it?
Well, I've been in the business since I'm 16.
What are you saying?
You'd read mine and then read yours.
May I read yours?
Yeah. I think mine's better, but you go ahead and read it. If you think yours is better, we'll give yours to the desk.
Yours is better.
It was big of him.
Yeah.
Do it right. You're my notes. You're gonna hype it with the facts.
What's the name of that girl you bombed out with who works in Colson's office?
Karen Wyatt.
Why are you looking at me like that?
You're attractive. You are very attractive. Steuben said you work for Colson.
Steuben's crazy. I never worked for Colson's. I was really big on secrets anyway. I wouldn't know anything.
Did you know Howard Hunt?
I knew Howard.
Right.
He's secretive, but a decent man.
You have any idea what he did?
Well, the White House said he was doing some investigative work.
You say.
He was doing investigative work.
On what?
Why can't I take him seriously?
I know.
The scuttlebutt for a while was that he was investigating Kennedy.
Why?
The White House is real paranoid about Teddy Kennedy. I remember seeing a book about Chappaquiddick on his desk, and he was always getting material out of the White House library, anything he could find.
White House Library?
I was just wondering if you can remember any books that a Howard Hunt checked out.
I think I do remember.
Uh-huh.
He took out a whole lot of material.
What a memory.
I was wrong.
I beg your pardon?
The truth is I don't have a card that says Mr. Hunt took any material. I do remember getting material for somebody, but it wasn't for Mr. Hunt.
Ooh, someone's trying to keep her quiet.
The truth is I don't know any Mr. Hunt.
Oh, there's it.
Could I talk to Mr. Clausen, please?
1 moment, please.
When she came back on the phone, she said she didn't even know me.
Mr. Clausen, this is Bob Woodward. Carl Bernstein of the Washington Post had a conversation with the White House librarian. She first said that Howard Hunt had taken out books on Senator Kennedy, and then she denied even knowing who he was.
Let me call you back on this matter. I'm going to check on it for you.
Fine, thank you.
She said that Hunt had there was a lot of books that Hunt checked out. Comes back, she's I don't even know Woodward.
Mr. Woodward, I've just talked with the librarian.
Yes, sir?
She denies that the conversation with Mr. Bernstein ever took place. Denies that any other conversation took place.
Wow, they're working quick.
Yeah.
All White House transactions are confidential.
You need a sympathetic face. We're not going to find one here.
You want every request since when?
I imagine the whole last year.
I'm not sure you want them, but I got them.
Look at them working together now.
You know, it's a good thing we don't know much about this part of American history because
this movie is so new to us.
I'm like, what was Watergate about?
I did see a meme about that. It was like, I'm so bad at history that even when the movie's about it, I'm still on the edge of my seat because I don't know what happened.
I met a White House aide once at a social occasion. He might confirm.
No, but I want to know about Colson. What was his job at the White House?
Special consultant.
His notes on the White House librarian, are they accurate?
Yeah, but I want to hear the tape.
Yeah, here you are, Ben. Good, solid piece of American journalism. The New York Times does it.
He's gonna read it right then and there. That'd be so intimidating.
Oh, I know. Can't read it right in front of you. Oh.
You haven't got it. Librarian and secretary say Hunt looked at a book.
White House aide told me that Hunt was investigating Kennedy.
Who was it?
You want the name, you mean?
No. How senior? How high up?
I don't know titles.
Ben, that's a page one story.
Stick it inside someplace.
This is a goddamn important story.
He's in on it. Just kidding.
That's kind of how I feel.
Is that a bell-bottomed suit?
It might be, yeah.
Yes.
This is Woodward. I want to talk about Watergate. I know that
We're
the
not going
atmosphere...
to talk about that subject,
Well, we talked about Wallace.
but this is different.
That was about the shooting of a man running for president.
This is different.
How?
Not about this story. Don't call me again.
Who is this mystery man?
Secret source?
Or a threat?
Not really.
Seems. Did you just have that red flag flying around, or?
This is reminding me of Zodiac a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I know. They really, what writers are investigators.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. How does he know it's all the bad people trying to silence him?
True.
You guys have made me watch too many scary movies, dang it.
Who did he call?
Do you think the letter was from that person?
I think so, but I don't know. Yeah, what if they just beat him up right now?
I know, I'm a little nervous. What did we just see?
Eyes. He's being very secretive.
Where are you?
Stuck. The story is stalled on us.
And you thought I'd help?
I'll never quote you. I wouldn't quote you even as an anonymous source. You can trust me, you know that. Can you tell me what you know?
You tell me what you know.
Hunt worked for Colson at the White House. Hunt was investigating Kennedy at Chappaquiddick.
That should tell you a lot. What else?
Well, we're beginning to hear a lot about a lawyer at Crete named Gordon Liddy. who was fired by Mitchell because he wouldn't talk to the FBI.
I was at a party once, and a lady put his hand over a candle, and he kept it there. He kept it right in the flame until his flesh was burned. Somebody said, "What's the trick?" And the lady said, "The trick is not minding."
The story is dry. John Mitchell resigns as the head of CREEP. Says that he wants to spend more time with his family.
Oh, but it's touching. The truth is, these are not very bright guys. Things got out of hand.
Hunt's come in from the cold. Supposedly he's got a lawyer with $25,000 in a brown paper bag.
Follow the money.
What do you mean?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
What would be in it for this guy? The truth?
The truth. Justice.
I'll keep you in the right direction if I can, but that's all.
What?
Just follow the money.
Phone calls from burglars in Miami to the committee to re-elect.
15 phone calls.
At least 15 phone calls, and those phone calls were made as early as March 15th, which is a full 3 months before the break-in.
$89,000 in Mexican checks? Why didn't we get this? I don't, who are their sources?
And I even know somebody who works on the phone company here.
Is the New York Times article accurate? Yeah, but I can't get you a fuller listing. They've subpoenaed all of Bernard Barker's phone records. I think they're trying to find out if the Watergate burglars broke any Florida law. Miami DA.
What's his name?
I don't know his name, but the guy who's heading the investigation is named Dardis.
This job would be a lot harder without the internet.
Yeah, seriously.
I made the appointment with him personally. I called from Washington
the
yesterday.
appointment should have been made through me. See if I can squeeze you in later.
Oh, thanks very much.
Oh, hi, he's expecting you.
If he has any space tomorrow, I appreciate his numbers.
Fine. Tomorrow should be better.
I guess so.
Mr. Dardis' office?
Hi, please tell Mr. Dardis that Mr. Bernstein has just left. He'll be available all day tomorrow. Mr. Dardis' office?
Mrs. Martinson over the county clerk's
I beg your pardon?
Martinson over the county clerk's office. There's some records here that Doris wanted right away. Can you come over and get them?
Well, yes, I'll be right over.
He's just gonna sneak on in.
Hi, excuse me.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm Carl Bernstein. I've been waiting here since 9 in the
Would you
morning.
wait outside? Wait outside, please, will you?
No.
So who is Dardis? He's the one who looked into the phone records.
Yeah, and the DA of Miami?
No, sir, I'm facing the deadline. My paper's saving space for me.
I just don't have a
Well,
minute now.
I'm
We're
sorry,
gonna have to- You want to see Mr. Barker's phone records and his money records?
You told me on the telephone. I came down here and showed me everything you got on Barker. That's all I want.
Well, that's what I've got.
Well, that's fine.
All these are cashier's checks on
These are all Mexican
a
checks?
bank in Mexico City.
Barker again?
I think one of the guys of the five.
Was it Kenneth?
Kenneth H. Dahlberg.
Bob, listen, I think I got something. I don't know what it is. But somewhere in this world there is a Kenneth H. Dahlberg, and we got to get to him before the New York Times does.
Look at that. You can't
It really is insane.
Couldn't find anything in the clip file at all.
Oh, wonderful.
I did find one picture, though, if it's any help.
Remember phone books?
Yeah,
It's weird that you just had your number out there for anyone to see.
it is kind of crazy.
Some people had their address.
Yeah, most people I feel like did.
Could I please, Mr. Dahlberg?
Yes?
Kenneth Dahlberg?
Yes?
This is Bob Woodward of the Washington Post.
Yes?
About that $25,000 check deposited in the bank account of one of the Watergate burglars. As you know, sir, the check has your name on it. We were doing a story on this, and I was wondering if you would care to comment or explain.
I turn all my money over to the committee.
What committee is that, sir? The committee to re-elect?
Yes. I raise a lot of money. I'm Midwest Finance Chairman.
How do you think your check got into the bank account of the Watergate burglar?
I'm a proper citizen. What I do is proper. I've just been through a terrible ordeal. My neighbor's wife has been kidnapped.
Well, how do you think your check got into Barker's account, though, sir?
What? That was crazy. Also, what are they watching on the TV?
I know.
Committee to re-elect the president.
Could I please speak to Mr. Clark McGregor? This is Bob Woodward of the Washington Post. I just spoke to a Mr. Kenneth Dahlberg, who says that he is Midwest Finance Chair.
Yeah, I know Ken Dahlberg.
Well, I can't seem to get an explanation on why a check for $25,000 made out to Mr. Dahlberg would end up in the bank account of a Watergate burglar.
John Mitchell was the head of the committee. He might know.
Well, what would the explanation possibly
I
be
don't
for...
know. You're implying that I should know.
Sir, no one is saying anything...
Before I came aboard.
Mr. Dahlberg is online, too.
Mr. Dahlberg.
Yes?
Could you please hold 1 second, sir? Mr. McGregor.
Yeah.
Could I call you right back, sir? I'm very sorry.
okay.
Thank you. Mr. Dahlberg.
I'm sorry I hung up before. I wasn't sure you were a reporter.
I believe we were talking about a $25,000 check.
I'm caught in the middle of something, and I don't know what.
What do you think it could be?
Well, I deal with a lot of important people.
People who work for the committee? Hello?
For the committee.
The committee to re-elect the president.
Yes. Raise that money in cash, and I have a winter home in Florida.
Is that Miami?
Boca Raton. So I had it exchanged for the cashier's check.
How do you think it got into Barker's account?
I know I shouldn't be telling you this.
But
I gave it to Mr. Stans.
have we heard that name before? I think we have.
I gave it to Stan.
The head of finance for Nixon?
Yes, in Washington. Now, what he did with it, I really do not know. That's all I had to say.
And don't talk to the New York Times.
Yeah.
We gotta get something down on paper. Come on.
Is what's his face still in Florida?
Goes all the way to Stans. He gave the check to Stans for the committee to re-elect.
Did he say that?
He said it. I've got it on my notes.
Jesus.
It's down on record, Bernstein.
That can be record? Your notes are records?
ABM.
And of course, we have McGovern offering the VP spot. I have.
Because everybody's been offered it. Now, I'll tell you what would be news when somebody accepts it.
Here's some great art. Govern and Humphrey, breakfast, smiling their asses off.
It's quite the boys' club here.
Yeah, seriously.
Ignoring the importance of the Dahlberg repercussion.
Nobody cares about the Dahlberg repercussions. Now, let me tell you what happened today. I was having lunch at the Sans Souci, and this White House guy, a good one, a pro, came up and asked, what is this Watergate compulsion with you guys? I said, well, we think it's important, and he said, if it's so important, who in the hell are Woodward and Bernstein?
He wants to take the story away from Woodstein and give it to
At least
National
I have some
Desk.
experienced guys.
It's a dangerous story for this paper.
What if your boys get it wrong?
How dangerous?
It's not just that we're using unnamed sources that bothers me, or that everything we print the White House denies, or that almost no other papers are reprinting our stuff. Look, there are over 2,000 reporters in this town. Are there 5 on Watergate? Where did the Washington Post suddenly get the monopoly on wisdom? Why would the Republicans do it? I don't believe the story. Doesn't make sense.
He's in on it. Watergate. Follow the money.
AO reports due out the morning of Nixon's renomination.
Hey, sit down.
There's a source over at General Accounting that tells us that there's a whole rat's nest of illegal shit going on over at Creep.
Like what?
Like a slush fund.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars of unaccounted for cash.
Comment from Creep?
Yes, unavailable for comment. They're not talking.
Where's the story?
The money's the key to whatever this is.
Says who?
Deep Throat.
Well, that's Woodward's garage freak. Look, McGovern's dropped to nothing. Nixon's guaranteed the renomination. I can't figure out what we've got. What else you working on?
We're after a list of Creep employees.
Where is it?
It's classified.
How are you gonna get it?
We haven't had any luck yet.
Get some.
He's not shutting him down yet.
I guess.
But he is putting on the pressure.
Yeah, not really a morale booster guy.
Okay, Eddie. Doesn't she go with a guy that works for the committee to re-elect? Don't you go with a guy that works for the committee to
Go,
re-elect?
like, is that like boyfriend?
Yeah.
You got out of it?
So?
You're looking better.
We need a list of the people that work there. Do you think that...
I can't do that. It's personal.
What do you mean? You said it was over.
You're asking me to use a guy I care about.
We'd do the same for you. Can't you just call him up on the telephone and say you want to have a drink with him? Just feel him out. And you say the relationship is over, and what the hell do you have to lose?
Oh, yikes. You want her to call her ex-fiance?
We don't want you to do anything that would embarrass you, that you don't feel right.
Oh.
Forget it.
This guy's like, yeah, we do.
Yeah. You're playing good cop, bad cop.
Oh.
You don't want to ask her if she's doing okay after that?
This looks like your story.
Light bulb?
List of employees? Or...
Oh. It's got good hair.
Yeah.
Look what it says. Personnel, committee to re-elect the president.
This is all in alphabetical order. You can't tell who works for
Find
who.
out the department.
Here, John Mitchell,
What's the number?
301.
Find somebody who has a number close to it.
Okay.
So we understand your daughter works for the committee to re-elect. Would you object to just spending...
Hi.
Miss Milan? Betty Milan?
I'm Bob Woodward, Carl Bernstein.
We're from the Washington Post.
Oh,
We'd like...
I know you're trying to do your job. I mean, you don't understand the pressure that we're under.
Just take a couple seconds. We could just come in for a couple
Oh,
seconds.
no.
We understand that there was some documents that were shredded at the committee.
Well, there's often shredding, and we do that a lot.
Were you there during the shredding?
Yes, I was.
Were there any department heads from the committee who were also present?
Mr. Mitchell came in one night.
Did he supervise the shredding?
Can I not answer any more questions? I just do not, okay? Maybe I could call you.
Are you being told not to talk?
Will you call?
I don't know.
So, yes.
You've got a woman who's frightened at the door. She works for Creep. She said that there's shredding taking place. We don't know what's in the papers. We know that the former attorney general comes in there
Creep
with an
is the
overcoat over his
committee
head.
to
It keeps
re-elect.
raining.
Okay, goodness.
Or the finance part of it or something? The money?
I mean, you're more resistant than she is.
That's right.
Why?
Because there's not enough fact. This won't take long at all. We just want to...
Please go away, okay? Before they see you.
Who did you mean? What do you mean they? Could you give us their names?
Oh boy.
You know, I really can't talk about this because
Would they be members of the committee?
She's very distressed.
I can come up to me on a street.
Yeah.
And he can ask me an address. Now, is the man interrogating me or is he lost? What kind of a story do I write from? What kind of a deduction do I make from that?
You don't have a gut feeling that the woman is trying to help us?
No, I don't have enough gut feeling.
I'm worried about that woman.
I know.
How can you keep going at something past the point when you believe it? Start all over again.
He needs to go back to his garage guy.
I was just thinking that.
Put a red flag in your plant.
Week's work, half the names crossed off, and what do you got?
People aren't talking, Harry. And it's the way they're not talking that's unnatural.
Harry, we've been up all night. We went over all the quotes of the people who
Like they're
slammed
getting
doors in our
instructions,
faces.
Want to hear some real news?
Uh-oh.
That GAO report, in which you place so much faith, been postponed till after tonight's renomination. You've got a call from Stans in Florida. Says he has new information not to republish without
They're
it.
going to bury the report until after the renomination.
And that's the end of your story.
What are they burying until after the vote? GAO. I don't know.
And therefore, I declare the nomination
Oh, the federal audit report.
for President of the United States, President Richard Nixon.
So they were like right in the middle of the election.
President and the future President of the United States of America.
Votes. Thank you.
To criticize. So he just won the Republican nominee, right? Not the president?
No, I think it was I thought it was because they said your president and your future president. I don't know.
IDK.
I've been seeing the Washington Post, and I just want to ask you a couple.
It's for you. It's Carl Bernstein.
Could I just borrow one of your cigarettes there?
Sure.
Oh, he just walked in.
I can understand you're being afraid. There's a lot of people up at the committee just like you who want us to tell the truth. But certain people have gone back to the prosecutors and the FBI to give information which they were never asked. You were Hugh Sloan's bookkeeper when he worked for Maurice Stans up at Finance, and we were just wondering if you were promoted to work for Mr. Stans immediately after Mr. Sloan quit, or whether there was some time lapse.
I never worked for Sloan or Stans.
Could I just sit down for a second?
I feel like Bob would be better at this.
I know.
Someone at their work must be like telling them, like very.
Have you been threatened if you tell the truth?
No.
Well, the general accounting report said that there was $350,000 in the safe of the committee to re-elect the president. Were you aware there was that kind of funds from the very beginning?
She wants
A lot of
to.
people are watching me. They know I know a lot. I thought it was an all-purpose political fund.
How was it paid out?
Not in one big chunk. There was a list of 15 names and the amount of money given to each person next to the name.
What happened to the list?
It was destroyed. I can't be positive that that money was used for the break-in, you understand. But people sure are worried.
Think you could help me with the disbursement of money in terms of the number of people that were involved?
A group of them, about 5. I don't know their names.
Mr. Sloan, would he have any?
I don't want to say any more, okay?
What are these people telling them?
No. And then though they probably all feel like there is something guilty because they're all saying don't talk.
In one 2-day period, $6 million. We didn't know where to put it all. I thought it was all legal. I mean, I guess I did until after the break-in when I remembered Gordon got so much of it.
This is Mr. Liddy.
It's all so rotten. And the only one I care about is Hugh Sloan. His wife was going to leave him if he didn't stand up and do what was right. So he quit.
I'm wondering if Hugh Sloan was being set up now as a fall guy for John Mitchell.
If you guys could get John Mitchell, that would be beautiful.
Mitchell's the one that did the candle thing, right? He seems a little crazy.
Is there any evidence that any of Mr. Mitchell's assistants were part of this?
I had all the evidence. It was destroyed. I don't know who destroyed it.
Hard evidence.
Well, I can't say that it would positively prove that they planned the break-in.
Can you tell me anything about who got the money? You know, I can just ask you initials. Was there an M? You can just nod either way. Did it go that high up?
It's a nod.
I don't want to say any more, okay?
I'm sorry.
In one 6-day period, over $6 million came in. You wouldn't believe what was going on inside that woman.
Give me your notes so I can
These
get it
are
down.
the notes. Yeah, I got stuff on napkins matched because I'm writing in the bathroom while she's getting the coffee.
It's crazy. How am I going to...
Well, you'd be crazy, too, if you were operating on 20 cups of coffee. But the men working under Mitchell are the ones that receive the money from the slush fund. These men are the key to what that money was used for.
LP and M.
What do you mean?
LP and M. She'd only give me initials. Yeah, the initials are the name of the men that worked on there. Mitchell. Here, she said John Mitchell. If you guys could get John Mitchell, that would be beautiful.
Yeah, she did.
She did say that.
It could be LaRue. It could be Liddy.
L is Liddy.
How do we know that?
Because she said it. She said at the time of the break-in, there was so much money floating around that I know that Gordon got part of it. So I said, you mean Gordon? Liddy, she said yes.
He could be Parkinson. It could be Porter. It could be...
Wait a minute. There was a guy once. Didn't he say that there was a Bart Porter who at one time was a member of the committee to re-elect?
Porter was called before the grand jury investigation.
They're like becoming. They have memorized that list, I think.
P is Porter, L is Liddy. That leaves all that leaves is M.
Mitchell.
I thought it was Mitchell.
Magruder. I think it's Magruder. I think it's Magruder, too.
Me too.
One time he was a temporary head of the committee to re-elect before Mitchell.
I don't want a cookie.
If we can make names of the initials, then we'll know the people at Creek who paid off the burglars.
We'll at least know who got the money. Carl, we have got to go back there and get that bookkeeper to say who the names are.
Well, she ain't gonna give it to you because I was with the woman for 6 hours.
We've got to try. So we go back there.
Yeah.
And get her to say the names.
Who P is. And then I say, no. We know P is Porter. I just bury it.
Okay, now wait a minute. I mean, you try to fake her out.
Right.
And what if she denies it?
We're screwed.
Well, they can't go back there. This poor woman.
I know.
But look how cute he is.
I know.
You have answers for everything, don't you?
If we did, we wouldn't be here. Could you tell us who got the money?
You mean like what did you do with the 25 grand lady? Little jokes they're making down at finance these days.
Who is P? P we know is Porter. You said 25 grand. Is that how much Porter got? Was it more? Was it more than 50,000? Was Magruder the only M to receive money?
An L.
Recently, very recently, been reported now that some documents were torn up at the committee to re-elect the president. Did you know the documents had been destroyed?
No, I did not.
But didn't they say the Attorney General was there?
Yeah.
Because he came in with the raincoat over his head?
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, I'm Carl
Bob
Bernstein.
Woodward.
We'd just like to talk to Mr. Sloan for a couple minutes.
You're the two from the Post, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
This is an honest house.
That's why we'd like to see your husband.
She's the one who said she would leave him if he didn't quit because he knew that sketchy stuff was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Try and understand this. I'm a Republican.
I am too.
Well, I believe in Richard Nixon. I worked in the White House for 4 years, and so did my wife. What happened on June 17th, I don't think the president knew anything about.
Is it possible that some of his people might have known?
That's Reverend Camden. 7th Heaven.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Now, that report on the cash in the creep safe, that $350,000, is that a correct figure?
No, it was closer to 1 million.
We don't know the names of the people who could order you. We just know that there were 4.
No, there were 5.
Five.
Just stands Magruder, they're off, yes.
Well, there had to be a White House overseer.
Yeah, Colson.
No, Golson's too smart to get involved directly with anything like that. I won't talk about the other two.
They both worked at the White House?
One of them did. The other one's not in Washington, but that's all I'll say.
Nixon's personal lawyer?
I can't say anything, I'm sorry.
Well, when's the baby due?
Soon, next month.
Are you going to stay here?
I don't think so.
You decide where you're going to go?
I've been looking for a job in the private sector, but it's very hard. My name's been in the papers too much.
You know, one thing I'm just still not completely clear about. I don't know how did you, when you handed out the money, how did that work exactly?
Badly.
They're getting good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 3 we've got, and all 3 have been named by 2 sources.
What about the other 2?
I'm pretty sure of Calmback.
Maybe better wait till we get all 5. Not certain on Mitchell?
We know that he approved payments to Liddy while he was Attorney General.
Is there anything at all on Mitchell?
No.
Then can we use the names? No.
When is somebody gonna go on the record in this story?
They're all being threatened.
Yeah,
That
they're all
makes it a
being
big deal.
Former Attorney General, the highest-ranking law enforcement officer in this country, is a crook.
Yes.
Just be sure you're right.
Essex House, may I help you?
John Mitchell. Tomorrow we're running a story, and we just think that you should have a chance to comment on it.
Well, what does it say?
John and Mitchell, while serving as United States Attorney General, personally controlled a secret cash fund used to gather information about the Democrats, according to sources involved in the Watergate investigation.
Jesus.
Beginning in the spring of 1971, almost a year before he left the Justice Department, Mitchell personally approved withdrawals from the fund.
All that crap, you putting it in the paper?
Well,
Look, it's all been denied. You tell your publisher. Tell Katie Graves she's gonna get a tit caught in a big ring if that's published.
the Committee to Re-elect has issued a statement to our story, but there are just a couple questions.
Did the committee tell you to go ahead and publish the story? We're gonna do a story on all of you.
Sir, there's just a couple of questions.
Call my law office in the morning.
Mitchell know he was talking to a reporter?
Yeah, but I think I woke him up.
You had good notes?
Verbatim.
It's crazy that notes are like,
The reliable
yeah, like you
source.
could write anything. Yeah.
How much can you tell me about Deep Throat?
How much do you need to know?
You trust him?
I'd like to know more as well.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do the reporting for my reporters, which means I have to trust them. And I hate trusting anybody. Run that baby.
Oh, how the turntables have turned. He's into it. Run that, baby.
John Mitchell had personally controlled a secret Republican fund. Mitchell denied any such involvement, called the story ludicrous. A new charge also brought a response from Vice President Agnew.
I have full confidence in Mr. Mitchell and in the people in the Republican organization. I think that that kind of unattributed report at a time like this is counterproductive.
What else are they going to say?
Yeah.
All non-denial denials. They doubt our ancestry, but they don't say the story isn't accurate.
Now, if you guys have been causing big trouble at the Bureau, our reports are showing up in your paper almost verbatim. It's been on the mark, except for Mitchell. Now, we didn't have that he controlled the fund.
Right.
Oh, in a good way? Okay.
Why have the interviews at CREEP always been conducted within the presence of the lawyer who works for CREEP?
You know, I can't answer for the whole Bureau. I do what I'm told. I followed my orders, period.
Is that Bob over there?
Okay, this morning I get a tip to call a guy by the name of Alex Shipley, who is now the Assistant Attorney General of Tennessee. Guy told me that called me that he said that Shipley was asked in the summer of 1971 by an old Army buddy, a Donald Segretti, to join a group of other lawyers for Nixon's campaign to sabotage the Democratic candidates.
Does the FBI know about Segretti?
The FBI interrogated Segretti and found out that he wasn't involved in the break-in, so they dropped it.
He's in California. Segretti crisscrossed the country at least a dozen times.
What does that mean?
In cities where there are Democratic primaries.
Well, if the break-in is just one incident in a campaign of sabotage that began a whole year before Watergate.
First time the break-in makes sense. Isn't so crazy. Segretti was doing this a year before the bug.
And a year before, Nixon wasn't slaughtering Muskie. He was running behind Muskie. Hi, Donald Segretti?
That's right.
I'm Carl Bernstein from the Washington Post.
Hi.
Well, my paper just sent me out here to try to persuade you to go on the record. I guess because you were the head coordinator of Nixon's sabotage campaign against the Democrats.
He wants to talk?
What? Why is this guy smiling a lot?
I made it clear that I would not do anything violent or illegal.
What do you mean by illegal?
Watergate, I mean, that's the whole bugging. That's horrendous.
And what kind of stuff do you guys do?
Nickel and dime stuff. Stuff with a little wit attached to it. When you guys print it in the papers, then I'll know.
Smart guy, Donald.
I'm a lawyer, Carl. I'll probably wind up going to jail and being disbarred. And I don't know what I did that was so damn awful. I'll tell you something, none of this was my idea. I didn't go looking for the job.
Well, that's important. Chapin came to you. Funny, but I keep forgetting that you guys knew each other in college.
It was me, Dwight, Ziegler, the whole USC Mafia.
And that's when you got involved, you mean, in the student elections, and we started trying to get your man in, so you stuffed ballot boxes. What was that term you guys used for screwing up the opposition?
Right.
How does he know all this?
I don't know.
Look, let me ask you something, Carl. What would you have done if you were just getting out of the Army? Been away from the real world for 4 years? Didn't know what kind of law you wanted to practice? One day you get a call from an old friend asking if you want to go to work for the President of the United States.
Chapin was the appointment secretary for Nixon when he called.
Yeah. Those sinister things really happen. I don't think Dwight knew anything about him. He just did what he was told.
Told by who?
Ooh, back to the garage.
Garage guy.
What's the topic for tonight?
Do you feel like it's like his dad or something?
In my day, it
Who's
was
old enough.
known as the double cross. In our present context, it means infiltration of the Democrats.
Segretti won't go on the record. But if he would, we know he would implicate Chapin.
That would put you inside the White House.
Can you be specific? How high up?
You'll have to find that out for yourself. I don't like newspapers. I don't care for inexactitude and shallowness.
That creep slush fund that financed the rat fund just about got that nailed down.
To change caps.
Does the FBI know what we know?
How does this throat guy know everything?
Yeah. And he wants to help, but he actually won't say anything?
He must be very high up.
Done anything?
If it didn't deal directly with the break-in, they didn't pursue.
Who told them not to?
Don't you understand what you're on to? Of course, Mitchell knew. Do you think something this size just happened?
Haldeman had to know, too.
And nothing from me about Haldeman.
Segretti said that.
Don't concentrate on Segretti. You'll miss the overall.
The letter that destroyed the Muskie candidacy. The Knuckler.
You're missing the overall.
But what overall?
They were frightened of Muskie, and look who got destroyed. They wanted to run against McGovern. Look who they're running against. They followed people, false press leaks, fake. They planted spies, stole documents, and on and on. Now, don't tell me you think this is all the work of little Don Segretti.
The FBI and Justice know this.
So they rigged the election. Am I scared?
I know. So what did we just get from that conversation? It's missing the big picture.
That they rigged the whole election?
Or at least persuaded it heavily?
Yeah.
I guess this might sound bad, but I guess I thought...
Oh, come on. I'd be paranoid too, though.
I guess I thought that it was common knowledge that the other side
was like trying to dig in and like,
yeah, tried to write fake stuff about the other side or spy on them or make them look bad, but maybe...
I mean, fake stuff, I feel like that's where it'd be actually bad. But yeah, they're probably trying to find out the truth if they've done actually bad things.
Right.
Fake stuff might be.
Listen, do you guys know about the Canuck letter?
Yep. I'm sorry I'm late.
I just want to make sure you know who wrote it.
What? You mean the letter that sabotaged the Muskie cannons? All right, come here.
One word. Fine. Just get back into what you said. Isn't it? Say
Do we know her yet? I don't.
Ken Clausen told me he wrote the Canuck letter.
The letter that said Muskie was threatening the Canadians.
The deputy director of White House Communications wrote the Canuck letter. When did you say he told you?
2 weeks ago.
Do you think he said it to impress you, to try to get you to go to bed with him? No, I want to hear her say it. Do you think he said that to impress you?
Why did it take you 2 weeks to tell us this, Sally?
Who's Sally?
I told her that I wrote that letter. We were just shooting the breeze.
He said he forgot the entire incident.
That means he didn't deny it.
It's a non-denial denial.
Hey, Bob,
You think
Carl,
it-
he's on the phone.
Who?
Sally, for Christ's sakes, don't tell them I came to your place, you and me. In your apartment, Jesus Christ. If that appears in the papers that I'm over at your house having it.
There's nothing bad about it.
Well, there sure is. Sally, I have a wife and a family and a dog and a cat.
Oh, shoot.
We asked him about it. He said he forgot the entire incident.
Yeah.
Ken Clausen on the line.
Ken Clausen on the line.
There's so many names.
I know, this is the same guy, I think, right?
I think.
That I never claimed authorship of the
Says
Canuck
he never
letter.
wrote
There's
the
been
letter.
some misunderstanding or confusion.
I
I want
can't,
you to know.
can't.
If you're going to refer to that alleged conversation, Sally Aiken, you can't print that it took place in our apartment.
Ken, I don't want to print that you were in Sally's apartment.
Thank God.
I just want to know what you said in Sally's apartment.
So Ken is the White House communications director, and he wrote a letter that said the Democrat guy smeared the Canadians. How the audacity!
Chapin hired Segretti, we know that. And we know Haldeman hired Chapin. Haldeman has to be the fifth name to control the fund.
We've only got 4 out of the 5 who control the fund.
It has to be Haldeman.
I don't think we got it.
We know the fifth is a top White House official. No one's denied it.
That still doesn't prove that it was Haldeman.
Everything in that campaign is done with his approval. We know that everybody who works under Haldeman does so with his knowledge. And everybody is under Haldeman except the president. Common sense says it's Haldeman.
We go and see Sloan, and we tell him that we know that he named Haldeman at the grand jury.
And all we would need to do is have him confirm it.
Right.
Their little trick.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Please.
Listen, we've already written the story. We just need you to define a couple
Deborah's in the hospital, and my in-laws are coming
Two
over.
questions.
Deborah's in the hospital, guys.
We just found out Haldeman's the fifth.
I'm not your source on that.
Question by the grand jury.
You had to name names.
Of course,
If
everything they
you.
asked, yeah.
All right. Or say we wrote a story that said that Haldeman was the fifth name to control the fund.
Right. Would we be in any trouble?
Would we be wrong?
Let me put it this way. I would have no problems if you wrote a story like that.
If you wouldn't.
No.
It's okay.
Oh, you had a baby?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
my wife did.
Is it a boy or
That's
girl?
terrific.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you give our best to her?
I will.
Sorry, we just barged in, interrogated you, and but like, hey, congrats.
Tomorrow we're going with a story on the FBI.
What does that mean?
And we're going to establish in that story that you guys just about blew the whole investigation.
You didn't know Haldeman had control of the slush fund?
Oh, yes, we did. It's all in our file.
Not about Haldeman.
John Haldeman. Look, I'm very busy. I gotta go.
That's a confirmation right there.
Wait a second. Did he say John?
He said Haldeman.
He said John Haldeman.
I don't know. It still feels thin.
Well,
You know, we didn't make them do these things, but once they did, they're fair game.
All right, let's go over your sources again.
Sloan told the grand jury. He answered everything they asked him. That means there's got to be a record somewhere.
He told the grand jury the FBI confirms. What more do you need?
We're about to accuse Haldeman, who only happens to be the second most important man in this country. It would be nice if we were right. Bernstein, are you sure on this story?
Absolutely.
I'm nervous.
Me too.
Get another source.
How many fucking sources do you think we've got?
Is Haldeman the VP? No, because they were trying to find a VP, right?
Communication?
No, that was Clausen, I thought.
Oh,
20 minutes to deadline.
Look, I don't even know if I can get him on the phone.
I want to know what reporting's like now.
Yeah, I feel like less facts, sadly.
The general's office.
Hopefully not, though.
Less facts, more bias.
Yeah.
You know, we're going with the story that Haldeman was the fifth man in control of the fund, and they're hassling us here. We got 3 confirmations, but if you could just help us, I'd appreciate it. It's against the law for you to say anything. If there's some way you could warn us to hold on the story, we'd appreciate it.
I'd really like to help you, but I can't.
I'm gonna count to 10, all right? If there's any reason we should hold on the story, hang up the phone before I get to 10. If the story's all right, you'll just be on the phone after I get to 10, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You got it straight now? Everything okay?
Haldeman's it. Haldeman.
Good thing they don't have wives. They would have never seen them. Or
seriously.
I said if I get to 10 and you don't hang up, it's solid. Did he confirm it? Absolutely.
You gotta tell Bradley.
who confirmed?
We don't know.
Bernstein got another source. The guy just is confirmed.
Is any doubt we can run it tomorrow?
You don't have to. The story's solid. We're sure of it.
Okay, we go with it.
Who is that? Bob?
No, he was younger, I think.
Uh-oh, spaghettis.
Why am I so nervous for them?
Walk in with confidence, boys. They got the sources.
Sloan, who resigned as campaign treasurer after the Watergate break-in, denied naming Haldeman.
Would you care to comment on testimony before the grand jury?
I'd like my attorney to answer that question.
Gentlemen, the answer is an unequivocal no.
He said he did.
What?
Sloan confirmed that he said Haldeman.
But he's saying a truthful statement. He's saying, I didn't name him, but they're saying, yes, you could run that story. He did not, name him actually specifically.
But to the grand jury, he said he named him.
I respect the free press. I don't respect the type of journalism, the shabby journalism that is being practiced by the Washington Post.
No, I think they're okay by Sloan.
The Post has maliciously sought to give the appearance of a direct connection between the White House and the Watergate, a charge which the Post knows and half a dozen investigations have found to be false. The hallmark of the Post's campaign is hypocrisy.
No, the FBI is involved.
If we made a mistake, then we'll come off the story.
Just
but
tell
we
us
don't
if
want to
we're
come off
wrong.
the story
Tell
if
us
we
if
made
we
a
screwed
mistake.
up.
You
Tell us
understand
that.
that?
Why? What are you afraid of? Who got to you? Who told
Are we
you?
being set up?
Got you.
Aren't we, Joe? Tell
Are
us.
we being set up?
You. Jesus, what was our mistake?
Maybe there was no mistake.
Then they're just setting us up.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was a setup. And they just hung us.
Why not denial? Okay, let's stand by the boys.
Go Ben.
Radio
Yeah.
Hanoi reports the United States North Vietnam agreement for settlement of the Vietnam War.
So he won't even tell his editors and stuff who this source is.
Yeah.
You let Haldeman slip away. You've done worse than let Haldeman slip away, get people feeling sorry. I didn't think that was possible. In a conspiracy like this, you build from the outer edges and you go step by step. You put the investigation back months.
Yes, we know that. And if we're wrong, we're resigning. Were we wrong?
You'll have to find that out, won't you?
Listen, I'm tired of your chicken games. I need to know what you know.
It was a Haldeman operation. The whole business was run by Haldeman, the money, everything. Mitchell started doing covert stuff before anyone else. The list is longer than anyone can imagine. It involves the entire U.S. intelligence community. FBI, CIA, justice. It's incredible. Cover-up had little to do with Watergate. It was mainly to protect covert operations. It leads everywhere. Get out your notebook. There's more.
You just need to yell at him earlier.
Your lives are in danger.
Hi, I finally got Sloan on the phone.
They're being bugged?
Maybe. OMG. That's how this all started.
He would have named. He said he would have named Haldeman to grand jury. Was ready to blame Haldeman, but nobody asked him about Haldeman.
Come on in.
We can't come in, sir.
Woodward says there's electronic surveillance.
Here we go.
People's lives are in danger.
Wait a minute.
Maybe even ours.
What happened to that justice source of yours?
Thought I said hang up when I just said hang on.
The story is right. Haldeman was the fifth name to control that fund, and Sloan would have told the grand jury.
Why didn't he?
Because nobody asked him. Covert activities involving the entire U.S. intelligence community.
FBI, CIA, justice.
He said everyone is involved.
You know the results of the latest Gallup poll? Half the country never even heard of the word Watergate. Go on home, get a nice hot bath, rest up 15 minutes, and get your asses back in gear. We're under a lot of pressure, you know, and you put us there.
But if you guys f up again, I'm going to get mad.
Was that supposed to be a pep talk?
I think so.
Was that like a good job? Or like...
So they had it right.
Yeah, they just went too soon after Holdeman. Now he's extra insulated.
Honorable Chief Justice will administer the oath of office, President of the United States of America.
Oh, yeah.
If you will place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. Richard Nixon do solemnly swear.
So this is his second term he's getting sworn in for.
Yeah, I think so.
So help me God. So help me God.
They've had a lot of these, like, shots.
He looks like he's doing a little bit more like this.
Yeah. Hunt pleads guilty. 3 pounds conspiracy. Burglary. Magruder pleads guilty to helping plan Watergate. Segretti sentenced to 6 months in prison. Kalmbach pleads guilty to illegal White House fund. Chapin guilty of lying to grand jury. Porter gets 30 days in jail for lying to FBI. Former Attorney General Klein Diaz.
Olson.
They were right. Mitchell, Haldeman, guilty on all counts. Tapes show Nixon approved cover-up. President said he won't resign. Nixon resigns. They were right about everything. Nixon resigned. Oh, I thought he was impeached. I guess he resigned.
History, action, entertainment, suspense, investigation.
Yes.
What more could we want? I love the story, but it's okay.
Hey, look, they were buddies.
Yeah.
They wrote a book together, it sounds like, which is this movie was based off of.
Oh, that's fun.
You know, after they published that story, and everyone was like, you liars. You, like, they made them feel so guilty and so bad, and the whole time they were right.
They were so right. Well, I feel like they knew it, though, because I remember they were like, we stand by our story.
I know, but, like, the fact that they can go and say that and make them look so bad when what they're saying is right is irksome to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is kind of crazy. Like, it is hard to
Who's
really
telling the
trust
truth?
anything.
Oh, and stuff now is like, if this would have happened now.
Well, it's hard now because, like, everyone thinks they're a reporter, too.
Yes.
And so it's like
That's
you
true.
could get, and like how algorithms are built, so you just get into your rabbit hole and then it keeps giving you more information of what you're already looking at. And so, like, you could find, I think you could always find what you're looking for.
Yeah. And I feel like a story could come out and it could be the truth and everyone's just like, eh.
Yeah.
Or the opposite. Do you know what I mean? People believe truth when it's not. It's crazy that the whole FBI
was here.
Yeah.
That's like when we watch like Mission Impossible or those things, or there's some like conspiracy. I'm like,
I know. Who's not corrupt?
You know, sometimes I'm just like, ignorance is
You know,
bliss.
who's not Sloan and his pregnant wife. They were like, we're
First
getting
when you
out of
said
this.
Sloan, I thought of Alias.
Oh, I thought of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh.
Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman were
great.
So good.
Yeah, they did a great job.
They did real, and I liked Ben Bradley, and I liked the other guy.
Everyone kind of got in the corner, which we liked.
Yeah,
they're keeping journalism true.
Yeah, they are. Back in 1972. Okay, thank you so much for watching along with us. We're off to a big start to a President's Day week. Popcorn POTUS week. Okay.
We love alliteration.
Thanks again.
Bye.
I'll see you soon.
I think we did it at the same time.